This film came out in 1990, which might be one reason why I avoided it for as long as I did. There are exceptions, like Candyman, From Dusk Till Dawn, and Cemetery Man, but as a general rule, I don't like horror films from the 90s. They were too slick, too polished, too clean. You might be surprised to hear this, but I actually prefer gritty, sleazy films. Welcome to Exploitation Reviews, and me, Rob, and today I'm taking a look at Baby Blood from 1990. This is a French horror film, which should probably be part of the conversation surrounding the horror films in the new French Extremity trend. Like those films, this film also has graphic depictions of violence, especially sexual violence, and explicit sexual imagery, but despite fitting into that trend, it's often overlooked. Perhaps because it predates those films by about 20 years. I would like to say this film was a trendsetter, but it wasn't. It's just one of those films that was, in a certain sense, way ahead of its time. Of course, in another sense, it wasn't ahead of its time at all. Stylistically, this feels very much like a gritty and sleazy 70s film with splatter effects that aesthetically look very much like an 80s film. So we've got gritty 70s style sleaze with gooey 80s style splatter, and that sounds like my kind of horror heaven, so let's check it out. We open on lava. A voiceover tells us about the beginning of life on Earth and how everything started to reproduce except for him. He is still waiting to be born. Baby blood. Then we're in A Freak Equatorial. I do like movies that start with A Freak, so we're off to a good start. Something is shipped, and then we're in France, at a circus. The cats seem agitated by the arrival of the truck. The truck driver then looks for the boss of this here circus, Mr. Lohman, who is shacked up with this woman who is keeping track of her weight. That'll be our main gal, Yanka. She's in her underwear here and kind of spills out the top of it. The cleavage is bountiful, but even that is probably nothing you can see here on YouTube.
Man, I just work here.
But of course, we don't have to stay here. You can now support the channel on Patreon and get access to spicy versions of my reviews. Link is in the description. The animal the truck driver is delivering to the circus seems to be interested in Yanka. Yanka seems to be interested in the truck driver. The film subtly suggests her current relationship is unhealthy and she'd like to be out of it. Yeah, subtly. Well, she's about to get her wish. Kinda. Something escaped violently from the inside of that animal, and it's making its way into Yanka's bed and up Yanka's. The next morning, morning sickness. And she's a bit heavier than the day before. See, that sexy weighing scene from earlier was important to the plot.
Oh, sure.
Well, it seems like to her this is a good time to escape this place. A card then gives us some type of French math riddle. Un mois plus tard? What do you get when you add tard to a mois? Probably a punchline that'll get me canceled.
How you doing, Epitorian, with a straight face?
Well, Yanka's abusive boyfriend has tracked her down, and Yanka considers his proposal to get back together carefully.
Come back.
We find out that Yanka and her baby can communicate telepathically, and the baby is giving her orders.
I want the blood of the man that you killed. I need it so that I can grow.
It wants blood, and if Yanka doesn't provide that, it will split her open and leave, just like it left the cat. Oh, apparently the voice of the baby in the English dub is an uncredited Gary Oldman. And even though I don't normally like dubs, for this movie I make an exception because his voice acting is quite good. The voice of the baby in the French version is kinda silly. Plus, the dub provides us with line readings like this.
Ah! They stole my wagon!
It's too perfect. Anyway, back to Janka and her ex-boyfriend. I can't show you much of this murder scene because Janka quickly comes out of her robe and she's not wearing anything under it. So let's skip ahead.
No fair.
The baby tries to get Janka to kill again, but she resists. Some months later, Janka is working at a restaurant, which advertises the release of Baby Blood Part 2. That's pretty weird. How can this movie take place in a universe where the sequel to itself will come out later? I don't know, man. So Janka does eventually give in to that monster baby's wishes a number of times. But will she eventually find a way to kill this thing without endangering herself, or will she give in completely to its murderous desires? Well, that's enough out of me as far as plot goes. Let's talk some highlights. Emmanuelle Escourrou. I have no idea how to say her name, but her performance as Janka is pretty great. And even covered in blood, she's rather nice to look at. And, you know, I didn't realize it before this movie, but it turns out that I, too, like a look that has also been praised by Dr. Dre.
Gap teeth in your mouth so my dick got to fit.
Oh, no reason to get all lewd about it, Doctor. Anyway, I also like the conversations Janka has with the baby. There's an interesting tension between her feeling like it's her baby and that she's somehow responsible for it, and the knowledge that it isn't a baby at all, but actually a monster.
What do you like about men?
Sad eyes.
Sad eyes? Like John Belushi? Yeah, I get it. But you know, as weird as it sounds, this feeling of having a demanding alien inside you is a feeling that I think many women who have been pregnant can relate to. This, of course, is an important part of the feminist subtext of this film, but this is a YouTube channel about exploitation films, and I shouldn't say words like feminist subtext. People might get the wrong idea about what I'm about. Finally, of course, I have to praise the splatter. There are a number of nicely bloodied scenes in this movie. But despite the blood and the nudity, and the bloody nudity, the film's not perfect. Like a guy stuck on his ex, this film has some shortcomings. Well, my main issue with this film is the pacing, and the pacing bothers me in two ways. One, it takes too long to get started. The film really gets going when Janka gets pregnant and leaves the circus, but that's 20 minutes into the movie. It should have been 10 minutes into the movie. We didn't need that scene with the tiger show, for example. We could already tell the cats were on edge because of the new arrival. The whole training scene, it's just wasted time. And two, the murder travels of Janka are a little disjointed and repetitive. This is, in a way, a kind of road movie. Kinda, and those are hard to structure because there isn't much plot. The film would have benefited from a different approach. Take the first Hellraiser as an example. That one is similar to this one in that both of them involve something compelling an otherwise innocent woman to commit murder, but in Hellraiser, we got a much better development of that character. But again, this is an exploitation film review channel. I shouldn't talk about character development. I don't want you people to get the wrong idea about what I'm about. This movie has a hot, naked woman covered in blood. That's what I'm about.